You are listening to The Plot with a Twist, where we discuss all things books and booze. We are your bookish hosts, Ro, and
Alora.
if you like what you hear, please like, share, subscribe, and give us a quick review on your podcast app. It helps us become more visible to other bibliomaniacs. We publish bookish episodes each week, so be sure to stay tuned for discussions and attitudes that are lit.
Last week, we fell into our deep dive of the first half of Fourth Wing. Today, we are picking up right where we left off. We are going through the second half of the book. We are talking Violet and her power, the connection between Violet, Xaden, and their dragons, Dain and his touchy-feely ways, and of course, that final battle at Resson and the fallout that follows. So again, buckle up as we continue our complete breakdown of Fourth Wing.
Note, this episode will contain spoilers for the entire Empyrean series. We will be discussing chapters 22 to 39 of Fourth Wing in this episode with references to the next two books in the series. If you haven't read these yet and would like to go into it spoiler-free, this is your last chance. Turn back now. Save the episode, come back later, listen, and let us know if you agree with our thoughts and theories.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so before we get started, I have to show off my shirt because we designed this and it was like Fourth Wing Akatar romantasy inspired. So hang on, I'll show everybody. Look at that. Look at that. So good.
It was so good, that shirt.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, readjust.
There we go. There we go. We're back.
There we go.
All right. I'll start us off. So, when we left off in our last episode, Violet had just seen the battle report that Markham got was not the brief they spoke about in class. Do you think that Markham not only withheld information to keep up the lie, but also that he had Vi in his class and knew how smart she was?
Oh, I think so. Rereading that scene again, like, because they do some random battle from like 400 or 600 years ago or whatever, and her and Liam are like, what? What do you mean?
They're both like, the fuck you mean? What?
Yeah.
Hello?
Why are we talking about this? There was a newer battle that was really important, and we've just seen it. And I don't care about something that happened 400 years ago. Absolutely, because I think this goes back to when Violet first showed up in that battle brief, and he gets up to do his talk, and just before he does, Professor, is it Devera or Devera?
Devra, I think.
Yeah. So she's like, uh, you know, look, he's in there in battle brief, and he looks at Violet, and he's like, she thinks it's disappointed. I now think it was him going, fuck, because his eyes widened and everything, and he was like, shit.
Mm.
And he knew who her father was, he knew what type of person I think he was just like, fuck, this might get difficult. So absolutely.
So, what I wanted to point out in this particular scene, right? So, yes, I agree with that assessment. But I also think that this was some really great writing by Rebecca Yarros because there is detail in here about this being the last time dragons and griffins worked alongside one another. Why?
Yes.
Why would that be the last time? What happened?
Yeah, why?
What's going
what
on?
Happened?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, there's some juicy tidbits here.
Yep, I agree. All right, so Violet has an argument with Jack in the sparring room in chapter 22.
Fucking Jack Barlow.
Fucking Jack Barlow. Then at the end of the argument and the chapter, there is a conversation between Tarn and Andarna where they confirm that Violet is ready to channel. Do you think that this confirms that dragons have an idea of what and when to give their riders their signets? Or the power to get their signets?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
So I think it signifies that there are requirements of a rider to be able to channel magic from a dragon successfully.
Mm-hmm.
They comment that she is able to control her emotions, essentially.
Yeah.
Like that is what they're looking at. While I get that wielding pure power requires control, right? The same could be said of a siphon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think it's linked to the specific signet necessarily. I think it more signifies how much power the dragon can give the rider. If that makes, does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. I look for me. I think absolutely. We discussed this last time, and I was saying that there has to be between the rider and the dragon. I think they like the dragon will know how much power to give.
Mm.
I think in this scene, Tarn was very much like, okay, yes, one, she's controlled, but two, she's not willing to back down in a fight. So we see with Jack that everyone has tried to keep them away from each other, keep them separate, don't get involved. He's bigger than you, he will destroy you. And this time she was like, no. When it was just me and him, well, me and two others, he ran like a fucking girl. He ran like a little girl.
Mm.
He ran like a bitch.
Mm.
So therefore, Tarn was like, nah, now you've got this. Now you can have what I'm willing to give you,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think it points to the signet that they will manifest because it's different for every rider. Because Taryn had Nowlin before, and that was a completely different signet.
True. But I still think that the dragons have some sort of not way of telling, I don't know, some sixth sense that these are the powers that I can give them and they'll be able to use.
Possibly, possibly.
That's my theory.
Okay, so we all knew that the fuck it moment was coming. I know, it was a great moment.
Such a good moment.
Do you feel that the moment was pushed forward due to Taryn and Scale getting busy?
Not entirely.
See, I agree. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, not in. Okay, so these two have been dancing around each other since fucking Parapet, right? We all know that the yearning and the angst was there. We're all like, oh, just get a room already, for fuck's sake. Just get it on. I think once you could say that initially when Violet leaves her room and she's also ready to jump Liam's bones, that maybe, but she kind of does that whole no, I don't want Liam. She knows who she wants, and it's not Liam. So she ends up wandering, and obviously she finds Xaden. Now, once he teaches her to ground, all right, so that she can shut the door on Tarn and then not have those feelings, Violet is still like, fuck it.
Yes, I agree. So I said yes to a degree,
Yeah.
like not entirely. So I think it was. So I think Xaden and Violet have had their own thing going on all of this time, and Scale and Tarn's bond, and then being able to feel it, just kind of like tipped them over the edge, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that was entirely the reason they hooked up.
No, I don't think so either.
No way.
It was a really good moment, though.
It was.
We all love it when they say, fuck it.
Exactly.
Okay, in the moment above, Violet channeled for the first time. If you know, like if you can remember that, she actually did channel for the first time. Do you think that her signet manifested like that because she was doing what she was doing? Because she was all like, ooh, sparks are flying.
So I said yes. So she and Xaden are forced to be reckoned with when they're around each other, right? And logically, we know that thunder and lightning occur when two opposite charges heat up and collide.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty opposite. So I think it makes absolute sense that her signet manifests this way when she's physically colliding with a man that she's been attracted to and fears at the same time and is the opposite of. So there's that moment when everything explodes for sure.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I said. I was like, she was like, oh, there's so much built up tension. There's so much intensity coming on that he's finally kissing her. He's got her up against the wall. She's got legs wrapped around him. And she's like, there's sparks flying everywhere. And I'm just like, and you just went, I got to let these sparks out somehow. Bang.
I'll just create a whole lightning storm. Great.
Yeah. A whole ass lightning storm. Let's set everything on fire. Fuck you, Dain.
Yeah. Fuck you, Dain. Anyway. Okay. So in the scene where Jack finally gets to challenge Violet, do you think it was fair for her to ask Liam to keep it to himself and not tell Xaden?
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Rereading that, you can just feel for Liam, right? Because Violet is his friend. The poor dude was stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Violet has become his friend, but Xaden is like his brother, and Xaden has asked him to guard like the woman that Liam knows. Liam knows he loves her. Liam is 100% all over that shit. Like when they start communicating and everything like that, like Liam clocks it. So, well, I feel for the poor boy in that scene because he's like, what do you mean?
Please don't do this to me.
Yeah. Yes, because we all know that Xaden would never have allowed that to happen. He would never have let her fight with Jack, which in turn would have made her look, as she said, 100 times worse. She had to do this. Like, she absolutely had to do this. But feeling for Liam, because that poor boy was like, I'm either mean to my friend and like betray her, or I betray my brother. Fuck.
Yeah. And something that I said was, I think Violet also in this moment needed to prove to herself that she could do it, that she could man up, so to speak, when it came to actual battle and not have somebody else
fight it for her,
being cunning to get her out of it or whatever, because on a battlefield you can't do that. Like, it's kill or be killed. So you either can do it or you can't.
And if she doesn't want to be a liability to her wing when she goes out, she has to do this.
Yep. We agree. 100%.
Yeah.
Same page.
Always.
Well, not always, but on this, we're pretty same page.
We get snippets of the writer that Violet could become throughout the whole book. This fight is also very telling. Violet uses an opponent's weakness against them. Do you think, given all the times that she's managed to get a hold of whatever it is that that person is allergic to or somehow make them sick, do you think Violet is more cunning than we are led to believe?
Okay, so when I read this, my first thought was, okay, but what do you mean though? Because I feel like it's pretty clear from the start that her intellect is what is going to save her on the battlefield and in the Rider's Quadrant. We saw that in all of her test matches when she used poisons every time. We've seen it in Battle Brief. We've seen it when she's in history class, all along the way. The only time we haven't seen it is when it comes to being blinded by people that she cares about. So she doesn't necessarily pick up the Dain stuff because she cares about him. She doesn't think he's her best friend. She doesn't think he would ever do something like that to her. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. But when it comes to being in the academy itself, I don't know that she's not been cunning most of the time.
See, I was thinking, so intellect and cunning are two different things for me. She's a very smart girl, right? We all know this, but you wouldn't necessarily go out of your way to poison another person to beat them. She's using everything she can. She's using everything she can to her advantage, right?
Mm,
Absolutely. Which to me, yes, that's not only her intellect, but it's also her cunning.
yes. But I will say the other aspect to this too is we know that Violet has a chronic illness in this story.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, as somebody with a chronic illness, of course, I would use my brain because I know that my body is not going to hold up. So, I got to figure out something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't
I know what you
necessarily,
mean.
I don't necessarily think that's super cunning. I think that's survival. I think that's adapting to your environment and your circumstance.
I think we're being slowly led down the path that Violet is a little bit more cunning and vicious than we think. Xaden is about to enter his villain era,
Mm.
right? And I think that this is my hope that we're not going to get a Violet who's like, oh, I love him and this is so bad and I want to save him and I want to make sure everyone's happy. I want a Violet
No.
that's like, and this is why I feel like all the times that she's poisoned them, the fact that she nearly killed Jack in this instance, all of that I think is leading up to her going, oh God, I hope it's like this. They're going, all right, Xaden, you want to play fucking funny buggers? You want to go, son? All right, we're going to go. And I really do hope that she's like that because she knows how to manipulate him. And I'm like, oh, maybe we're getting a build up. So slowly Violet becomes, cop this, bitches.
Possibly. I don't know. I mean, it could go that way, but it could also go the way of her playing chess with every other player on the board.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm hoping that we get a Violet that's like, no, this is how it's going to be done. And you know what? If you're not going to help me willingly,
I'm gonna make you help me.
I want to make you help me. You're not even going to know that I'm making you.
Mm. Okay, so during this fight, we get the first look at Jack as a Venin. What do you think Jack was actually doing to Violet when he used his power?
Okay, so you have a theory on this. We were talking about it. So I'm going to let you take the lead.
I don't even remember what I told you. Remind me, help me out, because I wrote something down, but refresh my
Okay.
memory, and then I'll see if I
Okay,
wrote
so
the same thing.
it was something like using their powers against them.
Yes. So yes.
Does that help you jog your memory? Because I couldn't remember.
Okay. So I two things here. So I think Jack was either trying to turn her venom by using her power against her to put her in so much pain that she drew from the earth, or I also think that he used her own power against her to turn her into a weapon through touch so nobody could actually help her. Because if you
Yeah.
remember when Ridoc and Professor Emerito tried to get her off the mat, they were
Yeah.
screaming in pain.
Yeah. It's like they'd been shocked. Well, see, because do we ever find out exactly what Jack's power is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so the only thing I feel like is that he.
And I have so many questions about later. We're gonna get to it later, but like when Jack dies,
questions like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe he was forcing power into her, or as you said, like maybe forcing her power to turn on itself,
or bringing it to
maybe,
the surface, or just under her skin. Yeah.
Because he held on to her and he wasn't getting electrocuted at all. But the second, you're right, Ridoc and Emerito tried to touch her to get her all, like away from Jack. They themselves got like electrocuted. And through that whole scene, she's talking about how it feels like there's electricity and sparks like frying her, like her whole body's being fried.
Mm.
So
unless he was just trying to burn her out.
yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, I think those are all valid theories though.
Because I feel like Jack's going to have more to do with everything in the next couple of books.
Mm, fucking Jack Barlow.
You know he is.
She better not turn him into a redemption arc. I will
I don't
be
know if she
so
can.
pissed.
I don't
Oh
know,
my
even
god.
if she.
Oh my god. Imagine if she turned Jack into a redemption arc and killed off Ridoc.
No, we don't put that into the universe, lovely.
I
That's
would
not.
I would cry. I would be
We're not.
devastated.
No, no, no. We don't put that into the universe. I'm touching my wooden desk right now. No, no.
Yeah. Knock on
No, no.
wood.
Cut wood. No, no, no. So before Liam gets back to the sparring room with Xaden, he tells Riddick to guard her like you're me. Do you think Riddick took this literally?
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Riddick's initial response because it is why we love him.
Because
Yeah, he's like, you mean if I was like 6 inches taller and blah blah blah? And Liam's just like, okay,
yeah, and Riddick's like, sure, I got this.
no problem. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. However, I do think his behavior during and after Violet's match with Jack shows that he took the assignment seriously, calling out illegal use of force, trying to pick her up off the mat when she's screaming. And then as soon as Jack lets go, he's like right in her face, like trying to figure out what the hell happened. Yeah, we love Riddick. Of course he took it seriously.
I think he took it completely seriously. And if you have a look at the rest of the books, his protectiveness over Violet just gets so much more intense through the next two books.
Until he snaps, which was great, by the way.
But that's still, for me, that's still protectiveness. Because his first thought wasn't for, he's the epitome, it's not the epitome, but he's exactly like Garrick and Bodhi and Imogen. Their focus is Xaden, and he knows this. And his focus is Violet. So he's like their equivalent going, oh, it's all well and good. Yeah, you want to protect him, but who the fuck's going to protect you?
Yeah,
because
where's the
they
line?
will turn on you. Yeah, where's the line? Because they will back him before they back you. And I just want to point out that I do love the fact that while we spoke about it earlier and we said that, you know, it was fair of Violet to go, Liam, do not tell him. I love the fact that she quite literally is about to step on the mat, or she's just stepped on the mat. The fight's about to start, and she's like, I know how much he means to you. So go. Because she knows that he's not going to make it back. He's not getting there. But I love that he was like, guard her like you me, and he just bolts out the room like, fuck, I gotta go.
Yeah. Okay. Xaden and Violet are heading to the flight field to run into Violet's mom and Dain's dad. Colonel Dickhead, Aetos, asks Violet if they can study Andarna. When Violet says that Andarna won't be comfortable with that, Aetos lets us know that they have been trying to find info on Feathertails, but can't. And he remembers Violet's dad doing research on the Croveland uprising, which had references to Feathertails. Why do you think Colonel Cockhead, Aetos, wants this info?
I think, so it's assumed that Feathertails are baby dragons. I disagree.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Think, yeah, I think the Feathertails are irids as babies. And I think that Colonel fucking Cockhead, Aetos, knows this. And he knows that technically they're the 7th class of dragon, and he's got a chance to have a look at one.
Yeah, I said all of the same stuff.
Yeah.
And I also said basically nobody's seen one in centuries. So he wants to know why they've chosen now, why they've chosen Violet, how can they be used? And he may even know about their time power.
See, I wonder how much he knows.
And I wonder if he wonders through Andarna, could they go back in time and change shit somehow?
I wonder we know that he knows the truth about the Venin and like the Venin and everything and the Griffins and all that. I feel like because he mentioned her dad, he's like, oh, I remember your dad, doing this and but we can't seem to find those books. Do you know where they are? And she's like, I don't think she told a lie within a truth
Right.
to keep him off balance and not calling her on her shit. But I think he knows way more about the whole entire situation with the Venin and the Irids and everything than he's letting on.
No,
Absolutely.
I agree completely.
Fucking Aetos.
Uh,
All right. So Violet and the gang go all out for the squad battle. When they break into General Sorrengail's office and steal the map, do you think this is a significant moment in the book that shows that when the marked ones and the unmarked ones work together, they could be completely unstoppable?
for sure. I think
Yeah.
it's a preview of how they'll work together to solve bigger problems on the war front and in the world. I think the signets that are shown and that exist in both groups, I really think they are designed to be used together and not as a singular power, if that makes sense. Because, yeah, I mean, Violet makes a statement that I think it's Nadine, can break down wards or take down wards. And she's like, I didn't even know this power was really significant until now. And it's like, yes, because you can't do everything on your own.
When you read that part, Markham, because they called on it and they're like, how do we know this is real? When they're called on it, Markham, he realizes that, because she's like, no, we broke into General Sorrengail's office. His reaction is instantaneous. He's like, holy shit. Because he knows right then and there that all the battles with the Griffins that are on that map are not battles with the Griffins at all. And he's like, holy shit, we're about to get fucked up right here.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did they get their hands on something that could most likely prove that they're like the whole entire lot of Navarre, a bunch of liars, it worked brilliantly.
Oh, yeah. Seamlessly
And
almost.
and the last thing he would want is the unmarked ones to realize that, hey, if we work together, we've got a better chance of pulling off so much more shit. And, so many battles could be more easily won if we work together. And the last thing he wants is that, because all the marked ones will be like, hey, did you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. The gang's time at the Montserrat was a powder keg waiting to go off. From Violet and Mira's reunion, Violet and Rhiannon sneaking off, Xaden's arrival, the knowledge that Xaden and Violet can mind speak, and then the attack. How pivotal do you think this whole section of the book was?
I think this was huge. So, the reunion between Violet and Mira, I absolutely loved. For the simple fact that Mira and Violet, Violet goes to Mira, you're not an only child. And Mira's like, I know, I'm so happy I'm not an only child. Meanwhile, Riddick's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's a weird. I'm laughing, right? Because I have a morbid sense of humor. That would be something I would say to my sibling if I didn't die and we'd had a sibling that died. I would have been like,
Mm.
you're not an only child. Which I think shows that their connection is quite deep.
Mm.
The fact that Mira was with them when they went to see Rhiannon's family.
Yes.
Like, she busted him and then still went, yeah, right, fuck. Like, if this was Violet and yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like the Ice Queen has a heart, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, see, I don't think she is an Ice Queen, but we can get to that.
Yeah, but just from outward, like, that's the way that she presents herself. Like, I don't have time for emotion. I need facts, logic, and fucking go. You know what I mean?
With Xaden rocking up, you know that built tension. Like
Oh yeah.
the tension between Xaden and Mira, and then Mira and Violet because of Xaden, and then obviously the tension between fucking Dain
Fucking
and
Dain.
Xaden. Fucking
God.
Dain. We know he gets better, but currently he's still on my shit list.
Eyes on me. I'm sorry that erased all the shit.
Not yet, it hasn't, because I'm doing a reread. When I get to that bit, I'll be like, oh, yay, Dain. Um, but I think that this is a major development in the book because of the fact that eventually we know that Violet finds out about the Venin. Mira eventually finds out about the Venin. And it shows Mira that Violet is now not the same person that she was when she walked her to the bottom of the parapet.
Right.
How she's changed and grown, because there is parts in this where they're doing like a battle brief and Violet gives Mira a look as if to say, stop fucking with my friends, because they have marked ones in their group and everyone's being really rude. So
Mm.
especially Mira, and Violet gives her a look as if to say, don't fuck with my friends. And I think that Mira needed that to see that Violet isn't just the little sister that needs protecting.
Yeah, I think that garnered Violet a lot of respect from Mira, actually.
Yeah, I do
So
too.
I think the only thing that I would add to this really is I think that you're right. This is kind of this whole section of the book is sort of showcasing Violet's evolution,
Yeah.
that she isn't the same person and that she's a badass bitch. Like, I mean,
Yep.
she's on her way. Do you know what I mean?
She's on her way.
She can command her big sister to a point. She commands respect from others. The mind speak stuff, I mean, even that is interesting because it's not all on Xaden's terms, if that makes sense. So, yeah, we're seeing Violet come into her own here.
Yeah, I agree. All right. The first battle of the War Games was a huge turning point in the book. Violet uses Andarna's time stopping power again, and there's massive, heavy foreshadowing in that. Violet also manifests for the first time and kills Jack. Do you think this is where Violet truly understood the cost of the war?
Absolutely. Because she has this come to Malik moment. Not Jesus. We're coming to
Not
Malik.
Jesus, but
She has this come to Malik moment where she realizes she took a life and the others it's going to affect, how her killing someone intrinsically changes her, even though she's not sorry that she's killed Jack because he was a piece of shit. Let's all be honest here. He was just
piece of shit.
Yeah, he was an evil piece of shit. So she's not necessarily sorry about that, but she's upset and angry that the act of killing will change her character. And if you know anybody in the military across the world, that they will tell you the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
No matter if it can be justified in a you or them scenario, it's still shit.
It's
like
still
that
shit.
That is a truth.
Yeah.
What I found interesting here is that Jack's dragon Bade wails when Jack is killed. The reason I say this is because Jack is already Venin at this point. So what does that say of the dragons? Did I just blow a brain nugget?
Like,
but I'm serious.
Look, I don't understand why it's always, dragon without its rider is dead, rider,
we're gonna wait. That comes a little bit later. We're gonna get into that.
Okay. I don't know, the connection there. I feel like fuck that dragon. Fuck you, mate, because you chose poorly.
Right. But if we were to put this on a different dragon, like Tarn, right? So let's hypothesize here. And Nalin has become a Venin and even more appalling a Sage. Okay. He's still out there living his best life as a Venin or whatever. But you see, Taryn is unaffected and is like, fuck that guy. He's the piece of shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So why is this dragon in such agony that his Venin rider is dead?
So then what does that mean for Sigale?
Right. See, this is what doesn't make sense in my brain. Like,
well, for this, I said that yes, I also hated rereading the massive foreshadowing in this.
I know.
This is almost, it's like fucking verbatim, except without, the better outcome. The other telling part of the battle is that she was clearly shaken about this. And what I also noticed was that she's vomiting. She knows she's taken a life, yes, even though she doesn't like Dain. Doesn't like Jack. Dain walks over and he's like, it's okay, Violet, blah, blah, blah. And then he says the dumbest thing you could possibly say, which is, and if you never want to use this power again, you don't have to. And Xaden's like, get your fucking shit away from her. Fuck right off and don't tell her that shit again. Violet is upset already that she has this power because of the fact that all she is now, well, all she can see currently at this point is that she's a weapon.
Right.
Where she's always prided herself on being someone that uses her intellect or her healing abilities. Like she wanted to have that kind of a power. Like that can make things better.
Like a mender.
Else. Yeah. So that's the way she's seeing it. Xaden coming in and going, fuck off. Don't tell her that again. Do not tell her again that her power is not good enough. Like he's like, you can fuck right off. He told Dain he was being a bitch again. And I think she needed to hear that because the whole part he's talking about, Xaden's like, you've heard me say this before, but this is what fucking happens in war and you were going to have to do this. No one says you have to be okay with it. Right. And that it's not allowed to affect you anymore. But you are going to have to do this because that is the power that you've got. And I'm going to bring up something here.
Oh, Lord.
Just on the reread. We all know that Dain is a piece of shit in this book.
In this book, yes.
Okay. How far into being a piece of shit do we really think he is? Because I've got a couple of these, so it's going to go throughout the questions, but he's in his second year. So Violet has 2 dragons, right? Violet's gotten an immense power. So she's getting already looked at by Aetos and Markham and all that kind of shit. She's already looked at by Markham because of her intelligence. Dain's in his second year, which means he can talk to his dad. His dad is also around the War College a lot, right? He also tells he also tells Violet just to pick Andarna. They're not going to let you have 2 dragons earlier on in the first part of the book. Just pick one and pick the smaller one.
Well, I will refer back to what Rebecca Yarros said. He's a kid trying to protect his friend who trusted his dad. Yeah, so everything that Colonel Dickhead is whispering in his ear, he's like, okay, like I need to do this. Like it's my duty. Like blah, 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 blah. All that shit is being poured into his brain. So I am sure he is not. Look, just because he's good looking doesn't mean he's fucking smart. Okay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like sometimes, but
is this kind of like you're lucky you're pretty because you're fucking stupid?
Well, right. So no, I think that he just really trusted his dad, and I don't think that he ever thought his dad would be a piece of shit. So
okay, so this is what I was trying to get at. I think that he does more damage.
Oh yeah,
or
100%. 100%.
Yeah, than he really realizes. I think that between Markham and his dad, they manipulated Dain to the point where, and I don't know if the boy still sees it. I would really hope that in the next books we get Dain fully and completely understanding
Oh,
how
I want Dain to like annihilate
like
his
he
dad.
needs to, because I feel like his dad's put him up to a lot of this,
Mm-hmm.
so that he can keep an eye on Violet. And Dain hasn't even fucking realized. Take the smaller dragon, so you can't, you can't be involved in shit because it'll never fly. Um, Here he's like, don't use the power you're given. And he's doing it from what he thinks is a place of love from himself and from his dad, but at the same time, he's absolutely um, just side note, I have Facebook open
Yes.
and I have a girls group with a bunch of my friends back in Melbourne. And someone just decided to do a group call. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm like, where's that fucking ringing coming from? Oh, okay. I don't know if that was meant to be a group call or not. Anyway, but I think he's fucking done way more damage than he realizes, and I hope he does.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that though, because I think that you and I are thinking along the same lines with a lot of
Okay.
this stuff.
All right.
Okay, so after 3/4 of the book, we finally get the spice that we have been waiting for all of this time. When you reread that scene again, there are so many complexities to it. We have Xaden, who's trying his best to not get involved. Then there's Violet, who knows what she wants. Do you feel this is setting the tone for the rest of their relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
And I wonder what it will be like with Xaden in his villain era.
I mm, I'm on the fence.
Okay.
I said somewhat. So I think Xaden has a lot of hesitation because of his upbringing
I agree.
and what Violet doesn't know at this point about her mother putting him in charge of her care or looking after her.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been emotionally and physically abandoned by his mother. So I'm sure that makes him hesitant to attach, period.
Can't wait to talk about that bitch.
Oh, fuck her. But anyway, I can't. Bitch makes me so mad.
Bad.
Anyways, however, there are times when Xaden takes the lead in their relationship. This happens later, particularly when they get to Tyrandor, my house, my chair, my woman, where she's hesitant though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it kind of shifts and changes depending on situation. But I think emotionally speaking, I definitely think Violet is more resolute in what she wants because she had a more stable upbringing than he ever did. I mean, he's watched his dad get executed, his mother left, like all of these things in his shitty ass childhood. So, yeah, naturally, he'd be more hesitant.
So I agree. He's hesitant because he doesn't want to be hurt.
Right.
However, I feel like Violet is very much, because when we get to this spice, he's come to check on her and make sure that she's okay after killing Jack. He's like, find something that's going to distract you. And she's just like, okay. So she kisses him and he's like, I didn't mean that. And she's like, you said find something
that
I
that
want.
Yeah, that I want. Yeah.
That I want. And I want this. So I want you to make me forget. She's very resolute in what she wants. I feel like I'm hoping this is set up for a great next couple of books with him in his villain era. Because I don't need, and I know that the comparisons have been made before between this series and the Vampire Academy. I don't need another fucking Rose.
No.
I don't want another Rose.
No.
I don't want her to feel like she has to go and kill him and I just, bitch, you take the fight to that bastard. Like, Violet, you take the fight to him. You know what you want. You know how to fix it. if she ends up dating some other person because she's moving on, right, and we get another Adrian scenario, I will personally fucking riot.
No, that doesn't even
You know what I
match.
mean?
I,
I hope not, because the similarities are there between this whole series. You know it.
yeah, but Adrian was before, not after.
Yeah, he was after.
No, wrong. Because that's when. Okay, we can debate this all day long, but I'm
All right,
telling
we'll
you.
talk about this. Okay.
But I'm telling you,
I need her.
she dated Adrian at the beginning of the series
No, she
before.
didn't.
Let me finish. Damn. Before she's with Dmitri, because when Dmitri turned, what's the word? The bad vampires. I can't think of the term.
Starts with an S.
Strigoi. So after he turned Strigoi, Sydney comes into the books, and that's how they got the spinoff of Bloodlines. And so Adrian is gone.
No, but remember when she fixes when fuck, I'm losing character names. Rose's what's her friend's name?
I cannot remember. Too many books.
Oh my god. The chick that has the soul power. Whatever her name is, I can't remember.
Yes.
Liza. Okay, so when she saves Dmitri, Rose is in a relationship with Adrian at the time. Yes.
I'm going to have to double check that.
You double check that, but she is. And that was why we hate the bitch so much. I don't actually hate her, but in this instance, when it comes to my boy Adrian, I fucking do.
Nah, but he got Sydney in 6 books.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
good.
he ended up with someone way better. It was fine in the end.
Thanks for
But in that initial point, I was like, bitch, you dare break my boy's heart. Anyway, I like the fact.
Thanks for showing me for setting that right.
We are very happy about that.
Okay, anyways.
Okay, so I am hoping that Violet, when she sees or when they come into contact again, she's going to be like, hey, babes, how you doing? And he could be like, we're not babes anymore. And she's like, yeah, you say that. But I say we are, so shut it.
But also, I have this ring and what the fuck?
Yeah, so fuck you. You put a ring on it, you dickhead. You shouldn't have done that.
I'm Beyonce.
Yeah.
So no.
Like it, then you should have put. Anyway,
Okay, next question.
All right. On Reunification Day, Liam is again guarding Violet. And even though this day. Wait. On Reunification Day, Liam is again guarding Violet. Even though this is the day that his mother was executed, Liam reminds her it is the day of her brother's death as well. Violet is telling him that Brennan would have hated all this. And Liam says, yeah, that sounds like... And then stops. Do you think this gives more credence and credit to the fact that I said the marked ones knew that Brennan was alive?
I honestly don't know, and I'll explain. So it could be if the rest of that sentence ended with sounds like what he's doing in ... wherever the fuck he is. Brennan, I mean. But he could have easily been about to say, yeah, sounds like my mother. Do you know what I mean? So, or sounds like Xaden. There's no way to really know for sure, but it could be.
It is that. I'm sorry. It is implied right there. Like if I don't have the book with me.
So what? How would you finish that sentence if you were Liam then?
Yeah, that sounds like him. How would you know him? He would have been. You are the same age as Violet. You would never have met him.
Possible. But we don't know how he's going to finish that sentence. And then the scene cuts into like a whole crowd parting and whatever, and their
I
attention
need the book. I left
turned.
the book in the lounge room. I need the book. He's 100% about to say, yeah, that sounds like him. Or yeah, that sounds like Brennan. And he stops and have you got the book?
Yeah.
I think.
Hold on. Isn't it 31?
Oh, I can't remember. But so someone actually commented on our YouTube about this today. I saw it and I replied and I was like, look, I'm
Oh,
going to go into.
cool.
Yeah. And I was like, true. Like, I get that he had to be like that. Xaden had to be secretive, so no, he wouldn't be telling everyone that Brennan's alive. But Brennan is in Orisha. We find out he's in Orisha. He's living in Xaden's house.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Brennan would hate all of this. I gestured to the crowd. He was more about getting the work done than celebrating its completion. Yeah, sounds like his words die, and I squeeze his arm tighter as I note the separating crowd before us. So I don't know. Mm.
I reckon they knew. Brennan is in Orisha.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get to the end of that book, we get there, but Xaden takes Violet to Orisha so Brennan can fix her.
Yes.
Rereading that, neither Bodhi nor Garrick nor Imogen, when we read that last section of the book, are surprised that Brennan is there. They fucking knew. He's helping build Orisha. We said this. He can rebuild bridges and like cloth and everything. He's helping rebuild Orisha as if they don't fucking know. Everybody knows.
Okay, moving on.
Oh, hang on. There's also one other thing I want to note.
Mm-hmm.
I also want it noted. Okay, for a later question. The Dain spoke to the king at reunification day and then walked straight up to Violet and Liam and had a quick conversation and then touched her face.
Of course he touched her face.
So just note that for a later question.
Stop touching people, Dain. Jesus Christ.
Touchy-feely prick.
Okay. In chapter 32, Violet goes to Xaden on the parapet and basically tells him they're in a relationship whether he likes it or not. Do you think that the reason Violet is so precious to Xaden is that she sees him for who he is at his very center, like the heart of him?
Yes.
Agreed.
You mentioned it before. He's a super complex character. His childhood wasn't bad I don't think his childhood was bad at all, but his mum left at 10.
Yeah.
So
she dipped out.
She dipped out. Until then, they had a loving relationship, right? And then your mum just fucking leaves because the contract's done. Fuck you. Yeah, see you next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
He still had a good relationship with his dad. So up until I think it was he was 16 or whatever it was, 17 or something, when his father was executed, his childhood wasn't terrible, like his formative years. But in those years where everything's really impressionable, the dude got fucked on royally. So I think the fact that she looks at him and just sees Xaden, not a marked one, not the son of the great betrayer, not a leader like all the other marked ones see him, not someone that that she relies on. She just sees him as Xaden. That is what makes this whole entire relationship to him so very fucking precious.
Yes. And can we also talk about, just quickly, the fact that he's a shadow daddy and she wields light? Like, come on.
Right?
She pierces right through that shit.
Like, yeah, but he is also her darkness.
Right. But I mean, it's balance.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. When she needs darkness, he's there to show her how. And when he needs light, she's there to show him.
Agreed.
Snaps, Rebecca. Okay. As we enter into the last battle of the war games, Dain is again pissed that Violet is going with Xaden.
Surprise!
Oh, surprise, surprise. Dain's angry again. His quote to Violet was, I'll miss you, Violet. How much do you think Dain knew of the plans for Xaden and his riders at Resson?
He absolutely knew. 100%.
Right?
100%. He absolutely knew that Xaden was going to be targeted at Resson because I think he read Violet's memories, found out what Xaden told her at Athbine. I think he told his dad what the marked ones were doing. And that daddy dickbag set it up to have them all killed, and Dain knew what was coming. And that is why he was begging her not to go.
So, this is where I want to come back to. Dain spoke to the King of Orisha. Dain spoke to the King of Navarre, then went and saw Violet and Liam. Had has this one tried to leave yet? She hates these things. Touch your face because I think you're awesome. Right? And then, runs his fucking mouth to his daddy. Okay? Mm-hmm. Rereading this. Now, first read, we all didn't like Dain. Right? We get to Onyx Storm and you're like, Dain's going to have a redemption arc. On this reread, Rebecca, if you're listening, or if anyone knows Rebecca and hears this and wants to communicate this to her, that bastard had better do some real fucking hard work. Like, great, have a redemption arc, okay, but he said to Violet, I'll miss you. I'll miss you. As in, he knows she could very well fucking die and he did nothing to stop that. Liam's death, any of them. Forget the fact that we lost Liam in all of this. He just sent all these people out to fucking die. His best friend, the woman he apparently has like some real true feelings for, is going, and the weakest prick bastard says, I'll miss you, Violet. Mate, Rebecca, he better grovel. He better work super hard. He better save a whole fucking town of babies. I don't know. But like, fuck. I'm so angry at him.
But also, the other thing that you don't know, and that is not happening on page, how brainwashed is this kid by his dad? So even in that, right? Like the things that he's been fed, it could be a justified loss. Like I think he felt like he tried to save her. It didn't work. And he couldn't interrupt what was already in progress because that was also important from what his dad was saying. So it's complicated.
I know. I know. I absolutely know this. But when he realizes, we know from Iron Flame that he realizes that he's fucked up, that he's been lied to. Okay. Mm. I want in the next two books, I'm happy for him to have a redemption arc. The way he behaved in Fourth Wing, in Iron Flame and Onyx Storm after he realized that he was fucking wrong. Yeah, leads him well onto his way to a redemption arc. But rereading this now and knowing the other two books, I'm like, fuck you, you little bastard. Fuck you, Dain. I'm so mad at him. Anyway.
Okay, moving along. The betrayals start rolling in thick and fast for Violet at this point. When they stop just outside of Resson, Violet finally finds out that everyone, including her dragons, has been lying to her. Do you think that this shapes the way that Violet trusts in people from this point on?
Yes.
I said yes and no.
I think to a certain extent it does, because she then doesn't, and this is quite good in Iron Flame when we get to talking about this one, is that Rhiannon, when she finds out that Violet's been keeping shit from her, is like, fuck you. How dare you not trust me? And I think part of it stems from this. I don't think it stems to the fact that she feels like she has to protect Xaden or anything like that. I feel like she's kind of going, fuck. Like, I really want to tell Rhiannon,
Mm.
but I have been lied to so fucking hard by everybody, and I don't know how she will accept me not having told her this straight away. If that makes sense. I don't think she doesn't trust people. I think it's more the trust that she has in herself and in her judgment of people, if that makes sense.
Well, I think that Violet is a natural skeptic to begin with.
Oh, okay.
Well, this goes all the way back to the Fables, the book of Fables.
Mm-hmm.
She believes in those, but nobody else does. So she's always questioning and poking holes and saying, well, how come this or how come that or why this or why that, or using some other cunning or intellectual faculty to outwit, outsmart, or dig down to the truth. Do these betrayals push her to a new level of distrust? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it takes it up a notch, which is, I mean, it's a mode of protection, but it's also unfortunate because she was already a skeptic to begin with.
I feel that this, so when we do our deep dive into Iron Flame, it's going to be interesting because I feel that, like, we're almost at the end of this one, right? And we know at the end, Xaden's all like, just ask me, just ask me, just ask me. And that's the thing that's his theme through Iron Flame. Just ask me, Violet. Okay. And we know that Rebecca is giving us the hint that that Xaden has a second signet, and he's reading Violet's thoughts or intentions behind her thoughts. At the same time, even in my initial read of Iron Flame, I was like, hey, dickhead, why don't you just tell her? Instead of saying, ask me, Violet, you want to gain her trust? You want her back? Word vomit everything, mate. Try it for once. She's not asking you to word vomit to everybody. She's asking you to tell her.
Yes, but men are slow creatures.
Well, yes.
It takes them a minute.
A minute?
Well, a couple 40 years. I'm joking.
I'm not.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I'm
sure.
not joking.
But I'm gonna give snaps to your husband later, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on.
All right, moving on. The final battle is intense, and our riders hold their own for a while. However, there is one rider.
I'm already stop. I can't. I'm too emotional for this shit.
He takes his job and friendship so seriously that stop! I can't even look at you. Don't. That takes his job and friendship so seriously that it costs him his life. I'm actually going to cry. Rereading this scene where we lose our Liam. Did you feel stop? Did you feel it hit harder?
Yeah. Yes. So, see, it's not just me. God damn it. Okay, so I said yes. Harder because some of the lies from the Empyrean started unraveling right here for me.
Yeah.
And that really pissed me off.
Yep.
So we know if a dragon dies, the rider dies from this scene, right?
Yep.
But if a rider dies, a dragon doesn't. Why?
Yep. I told you.
This makes me think something happened to the Empyrean that made them need humans. Like there is something about this whole bond that isn't making sense to me at this point.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we can go back 600 years and explain the history and whatever, as far as griffins and dragons and Irids and all of that. But The part that doesn't make sense to me is the way that the bond works. Why is it only one way?
Yes.
Why is it not both ways? That doesn't make sense to me.
When the griffins die, the riders don't die,
Nope.
and I don't think it works the other way around either, does it?
No.
No. So why, like, reading this, and yes, again, I fucking ugly cried. Um, there was snot and shit everywhere, and it was just it's bad. And I read it this time. The first time I initially did this book, I did it as a graphic audio, and fuck
Mm.
me, was that intense. When you actually hear Liam cry out for his dragon, no, no, is all I'm saying. It's
Oh,
hardcore.
and just FYI, I saw a TikTok right before we started this that was like, your birth month is your fourth winged dragon, and September was day. And I was like,
So we dead.
I did.
Thanks, Day.
Anyway.
Um, and that's, I think, why it hit really hard again, is that I have been questioning from the very first chapter where, a dragon without its rider is a tragedy, a rider without the dragon is dead. That is the epigraph at the top of the first chapter. And since then, I've been like, but why? You don't give us why. We're left to assume the fucking why. We're not given the why.
What if the dragon's like soul snatch? What if by bonding a dragon, like they now own your soul or take your soul? Ooh.
Then I will be super pissed at Tan.
But how would that
Fuck
work?
you, Tan.
But how would that work for Violet since she has two?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe the Irids aren't, and that's why they're a whole separate thing because they don't approve of what the Empyrean are doing. They clearly hate them, and they're like the crunchy California hippie dragons. Like, love Californians. I'm just saying, y'all are kind of
the Byron Bay of Australia.
The Byron Bay dragons.
Yeah, hemp pants and yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. It makes me really mad. We lose Liam, who is, even Violet said, is like the best of them. And I think that shows that even though Liam was the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, he was winning everything for their wing, it still shows that in a battle like that, it doesn't matter how big and strong you are. You can still be taken. And I just, yeah. Why? Why, Empyrean? I want to know.
But also
this
is really, Rebecca said that when you have a character that's perfect, there's nowhere left to go with them.
Well, which Rebecca.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong, because how do you evolve that character, give them even more depth when they're already fully developed?
You let them go and live a happy life and get married and have kids and see their sister again, Rebecca.
Retire them.
You retire them.
Okay.
You become a teacher.
Well, needless to say, this is where it starts to get interesting. Liam is gone, and the Wyvern outnumber the riders and the flyers. So, dragon riders, griffin flyers. Violet is pissed off and has come to the conclusion that she doesn't care if she burns out or not. She's taking out every last one of them. We're scorched earth here at this point. She is fucking done. At the start of chapter 37, the epigraph is from the book called The Origin, The Fables of the Baron, and reads like this. But it was the third brother who commanded the sky to surrender its greatest power, who finally vanquished his jealous sibling at a great and terrible price. How do you think this relates to the Venin origin story?
Okay, so what I find interesting about this is that initially we think that the Fables tell a story of three brothers.
Mm-hmm.
right? Except here it says sibling. He vanquished his sibling.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not be three brothers.
Possibly. I don't really think that that's super important.
I might, but we'll
Mm.
get to that later. So the fable could be true, right? It's also interesting to note that it said he had the power of the sky, which is
Yep.
exactly what our girl Violet has.
Yeah, because she has the power of the Irids who rule the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah. Venom power comes from the earth, but they eventually they will run out, right? Because they're literally draining the earth or draining the things around them. Violet's power is untapped because she's not draining anything.
Mm.
Aside from herself with burnout, right? She's not she's not draining anything.
Okay, but what you just said like sparked a question in my head, right? So if the Irids rule the sky and the
Yeah.
Venin pull from the earth,
Yep.
where the fuck are these dragons pulling from? Man, where? Where's their power source? The fucking underworld? Rebecca?
Is it
Right.
because they is it because maybe they're just magic themselves?
Possibly, but why? I feel like it has been consciously left out.
Because there is a lot of focus on the fact that Venom pull from the earth. But yes, no one else
And Irids rule the sky.
and
Once,
Irids rule the sky.
once we find out about Irids, it is stated multiple times that they are of the sky. They don't, yeah,
Their power comes from the sky. So right, where is unless
the power comes from the rider.
oh my god, I was just thinking that. That was what I was just about to say. We don't know why they we don't know why they bonded in the first place, right? Remember my like last episode, I was like, why the fuck did you bond in the first place? You're a fire-breathing fucking dragon.
Mm. But
You
maybe,
just said, what if it is the soul connection?
yeah.
And the only way to get these powers is to bond with a human.
Mm. Did we just crack the code?
Maybe.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see when book 4 comes out. But I reckon we won't even know until book 5, to be quite honest.
Do you know what I've been wondering lately? Is she going to finish in 2 books?
I don't know. I feel like there should be 3
Like,
more.
I feel like there should be 3 more, or we're getting 1,000-page books each.
That would be fair. I'd read it
Or she's
in like 3
gotta-
days.
well, yeah, but it's got to be either. I feel like there should be 3 books, or we're getting 2 books with like 1,000 words, or she's going to leave massive plot holes, and no, we're not there for that.
Yeah. Nope. Not. I don't think she'll do that.
All right. We are led to believe that the only specific thing that kills a Venin are those blades that Xaden's been delivering to everyone.
Hold on. Wait. Go back. I wasn't
What?
finished. I wasn't finished with the
okay.
last answer.
Okay, go.
Okay. The other thing from this particular epigraph that I took away was, what was the great and terrible price?
Price. Yes.
See,
So
but
what-
this goes back to what we just said. If the great and terrible price is a soul,
Oh. Hey, Rebecca, are you listening?
we call on
Hint, hint. Did we fix it? Can you tell us?
she would never confirm nor deny anything we're saying,
can
and you
tell-
know that.
You can just tell us. We won't tell anyone.
Yeah, right. Anyways, now we can move on, but I just thought
Okay.
I'd point that out.
But I think that's very interesting. All right. So we are led to believe that the only specific things that kill Venin are the blades that Xaden has been delivering to all the flyers, right?
Right.
However, at the end of chapter 37, Violet manages to kill a Venin with her lightning strike. Do you believe that this has anything to do with the fact that she can command the sky.
Yeah. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that she wields power from an irid. So it goes back to the fable, right? Or the fables that the third brother called upon the power of the sky at a great and terrible price, or even the origin fable. Okay. They're all fables, whatever. Anyways, it makes me worried for Violet and what price she will ultimately pay in the end for the power of the sky. But for now, she's kicking wyvern ass and taking names. So yeah, I think that she can kill Venin with lightning because she's bonded to an irid.
I feel like the two signets that Violet gets given, right, between Tarnan and Andarna,
Mm-hmm.
I think the two of them have kind of combined, if that makes sense. Because I know that she technically, if we're talking the fact that she has an Irid dragon, so therefore that is why she can command the sky, but that power that she's got didn't come from Andarna. It came from Tarn. Her
Mm,
power from Andarna is the dream walking.
mm.
So are these two dragons like combining their forces? So maybe they're not two separate signets.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. I
It's
mean,
so
the only way you could really like solidly convince me of that is if I don't know, because you could, I don't know, that's difficult because you could say that pure power could be dream walking, but also if you can go back through time and dream walk through like your dad's dreams or some shit. I mean, like, we don't know where this is going to go.
when we get into our deep dive of Iron Flame, you wait on all the stuff I'm coming out with that signet. I think I'm hoping she develops her signet enough that she could choose. When you read this last scene, and Dana freezes time, and
Mm.
Zaylet, Violet, combination of Xaden and Violet there.
Oh my
Violet,
God.
Violet manages to sort of work that lightning strike
Mm.
to the Venin.
Right.
I'm hoping that by the time she's developed her signet enough that she's just like, whatcha? And all these little lightning strikes just whack these dickheads.
Whack a mole.
Yeah, pretty much, right? But I find it interesting that, and I feel like they probably know, like Markham and all them probably know this, that Violet is also a key to killing Venin.
Mm.
So I think it's kind of like an opposite things where, as we were saying before, Venom pull from the earth, Violet can pull from the sky. So therefore, you have a balance.
Mm.
Violet can use as much power as she can from the sky to annihilate these Venins. But yes, currently, we don't know what risk Violet's putting on herself.
Mm. Yep. So we'll have to see how that pans out.
Yeah.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, because this is our last question. In the last chapter, we get a reveal that none of us saw coming, at least not when we read it the first time.
Yeah. I don't think many of us saw it.
No, I literally went, okay. Do you think that in a way, Brennan's betrayal and subsequent lie Xaden kept is bigger than any of the other lies Violet was told?
Yes.
I agree.
I would be so pissed. And here's the thing. I think the only reaction I agree with is Mirrors in Iron Flame.
Mm,
She is so fucking mad
mad.
at her brother.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little bit mad at Violet, but only because I think had Violet known for longer, she might have been a bit more pissed. I also think that if Violet, I think she knew that Violet would have been like, we need to tell Mira. We need to tell Mira. We have to tell Mira. I can't keep this from her, which was what Violet was doing.
Oh, oh, call on me.
Go.
If we go back to the same theory that we talked about in the last episode, because this made me more angry at Brennan, but it also made me more angry at Tarn, Sigale, Xaden, the whole lot of them, that no one thought of confiding in Violet would be beneficial rather than detrimental, right? So I know they were contending with Dain and shit like that. I get it. But at the same time, it's kind of fucked up. But on the Mira side, right? Mira is she's on the battlefront. Okay. She's graduated. She's on the war front. She knows how all of these bonds work. She knows that Taryn and Sigale are connected. She knows that Xaden has known that Brennan was alive. So maybe her anger is coming through in a way because in her mind, she's like, oh shit, you didn't know. Like, there's no way you didn't know. Does that make sense?
What, to her dragon?
No, to Violet.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, okay. I understand that she's so happy to get her big brother back, right? But the fact that, and this really gets to me, especially if we even remotely think that there's a chance that Liam knew and Bodhi and Garrick and Imogen, like they knew. They're all happy to not be assholes to Brennan, but they can be cunts to Violet. But anyway, this is her brother. She buried him. Well, buried, whatever they did with him, with Brennan's body. She grieved his loss the same way that Xaden grieved the loss of his dad.
Right.
So you just kept this from her? And Brennan, are you joking? I am not of the opinion that Brennan is Venin, okay? Because if you read this book, Xaden has gold flecks and amber flecks in his eyes, and Violet's got hazel eyes and everything like that. I know everyone thinks that Brennan's a Venin. I do not. If I'm wrong, oh well. But you've been alive for so long now. And you let them grieve. And here's the other thing. When were you going to come forward, fucker? Because Xaden's like, no. In his mind, he's like, Orisha and Brennan, who is a mender, is closer. I'm taking her to Tyrrendor. Don't give a shit. Fucking suck it up. How long would you have stayed silent for? Both of you. And fucking Tarnan and Dain. Like, I get you have a mating bond, but whatevs. Sigale's more than happy to fuck you up on that instance, Tarn. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess writing it this way makes better writing, but this is definitely the miscommunication trope if I've ever read it. Sorry, but it is. But
done well though, right? Because we don't hate it.
No, we don't hate it. It was done really well. But I also don't think that this was solely on Xaden. There at any point in time, Tarn could have told her, or Sigale even, because there are points in the book when she can hear Sigale and they can communicate because of the bond between Violet and Xaden and all of them or whatever. So yeah, and this like, I'm shocked that in Iron Flame she didn't go completely scorched earth.
Yeah,
because I fucking would have.
I think she probably should have. I think Mira's reaction is the only logical reaction you can fucking have. She's so mad at her brother to the point, even up into Onyx Storm, she is still like, don't fucking talk to me. What do you mean? You disappeared.
Yeah.
You disappeared and left us. Like, fuck you, no. And I think it's completely fair. But on that note of Sigale, I don't actually think Sigale would ever want to tell Violet. You know my theory on this. I've said this before. I feel like Sigale is kind of a pick-me. She likes the fact that, she's Xaden's dragon and Xaden's awesome and a shadow daddy and all this. And she likes the fact that she's, mated to the big black dragon, the big scary guy.
I,
And
I, mm, I
you
think,
know it.
well, I just think that I have a different opinion. I think that because of Xaden's mother, Sigale's taken on that role, but over exuberantly taken on that role to the point where she's smothering, where like overprotective. I don't think that
Oh,
it's,
what? No one's good enough for my baby.
yes, exactly.
Except she lied to Tarn. We'll get into that Nine Flame.
I was like, remind me again.
Yeah, she lied to Tarn in Iron Flame. When it's all coming out, anyway, we can talk about this off air.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Off topic. But yes, I do.
Mm.
All right. Have you got anything else to add to that one?
No, I think that about wraps it up.
Okay. So, in that case, it is now that time again.
Woo,
We have spent
woo.
the last woo! We have spent the last 2 weeks dissecting every piece of Fourth Wing. And if you're anything like us, you're probably feeling a little bit parched by now. This week's drink is all about those deceptive dragons we love. And we do love them, even though we think at times they're full of shit.
Yes.
It is another The Plot with a Twist original. And it was actually created by my husband at our family Christmas cocktail night that I organized because I was like, you know what?
Woo.
Maybe I'll get people to make cocktails and then I won't have to think of them.
Nice. Resources. Use your resources.
And it is called Dragon Trace. And here is what you'll need. So we've got 30 mils of Buffalo Trace, 15 mils Fireball, 7 mils of lime juice, Coke, and ice. So you're going to combine the Buffalo Trace, Fireball, and lime juice into a shaker, then add the ice, never ice first. Shake until the outside of the shaker is cold. In a whiskey glass, pour over ice the contents of the shaker and top with Coke. For a little bit of added extra flair, you can add some gold edible glitter if you want.
I'll be trying this.
I thought you'd like this.
I don't love Fireball, okay? I am not a cinnamon whiskey person. But if you're telling me Fireball, Buffalo Trace, and lime juice and Coke, I think I gotta try it.
You know my husband well, right?
I introduced your husband to Buffalo Trace, as a matter of fact.
He was like, when I organized this night, I literally did it. We were all on holidays with family, and I organized the night so that yes, people could make cocktails. A lot of people got very, very drunk.
Oh, imagine.
And then I could use them, and I actually put it all out there, and I was like, "Come and make cocktails." And they were like, "Oh, what recipes are we making?" I'm like, "No, you're making it up, and then you're going to tell me the recipe, and if you want, you can name it. Okay." It's got to taste good and I'm going to use it in the podcast. And they were like, what? We're not doing your work for you. I'm like, yeah, you are. Shut up. I'll supply the alcohol.
Yes, do my bidding, minions.
Yes. So we did. And do you know what he kept saying to me? He was like, yeah, but if I put Jack and Coke and then add a lime. And I'm like, no, that is not a cocktail. Well, okay, what if I do Buffalo Trace, Coke and a lime? I'm like, no. You're not putting a little lime wedge on the side of your glass and going, they're done.
That's funny.
So he actually did one for us.
Well, great job, hubby. I'm going to actually try it. All right. Huge thank you to all the bibliomaniacs out there listening. Please stop by our Instagram page, The Plot with a Twist, and check out the link tree in our bio where you can find links to us all across the internet, including all of our social media. Please give us a like or a follow so that you can stay up to date with episode releases. Tune in next week for another all new bookish episode full of magic, mayhem, and maybe just a little bit of smut. Until then, keep reading.